Hello there Whovians, I'm Connor from Unleash the Ghouls, and once again on Nightmare Fuel we're taking a trek through time and space. This time we are going back to an incredibly pivotal Doctor Who story, but also one that puts the shits up you. Doctor Who is a show that has lasted longer than any other sci-fi series, and because of that there have been many advancements in the show in line with advancements in TV production. In the case of Spearhead from Space, not only did it introduce Jon Pertwee as the newly regenerated Third Doctor, it was the first Doctor Who story to be filmed in colour. So for the first time in the show's run, Doctor Who was able to provide a rainbow of frights. This story is no exception. Penned by the great Robert Holmes, Spearhead saw in the Third Doctor era in style, while also leaving a lasting impression on kids around the world. Why, do you ask? I'll get to that in a little bit. First, some context. What is the Spearhead from Space? Well, it's a reference to the spearhead-like shape of a swarm of meteorites that enter Earth's atmosphere and crash land in rural England. However, these are not meteorites as suspected, and are instead plastic-like shells of alien origin that are believed to house something within. This was the story that firmly reintroduced Unit and Lethbridge Stewart to the show, having previously been seen in the Patrick Troughton era. Now they're here to stay, and so is the Doctor. The Time Lords have taken away his control of the TARDIS, so he must remain stranded on Earth and help fend off its threats. His first threat is a real doozy. Not only has there been the mystery of the plastic shell landings in the area, there have also been some very mysterious goings on at a local plastics factory. The management are completely sketchy, most of the manufacturing processes have become automated, and there's a creepy as balls new member of the team that alone is a prime Nightmare Fuel source. His name is Channing, and he is remarkably alien. It's a great, mostly visual performance by Hugh Burden, who has a surreal face in every scene. There's something so off-putting in his expressions, and that is due to being the first creature created by what is housed within the Spearhead, the Nestine Consciousness. The Nestine Consciousness is an alien being that can telepathically control plastics and plastic-like substances like puppets. Channing is the main puppet who is possessed into taking over the factory, who changes their policies and processes, keeping the consciousness locked away behind closed doors. Now let's move on to the real meat on the bones here, the big source of Nightmare Fuel. Because this factory has been well underway creating other such puppets for the Nestine to play with. Ladies and gentle ghouls, I present to you the Autons. These things are just not right. Just look at them. The expressionless, empty-eyed, soulless beings that roam the forests and have concealed blasters in their hands. These things really are an icon of fear to many Whovians. It's all in the faces. They kinda ever so slightly smile, but other than that, everything's blank. They walk through the uncanny valley of the shadow of death, that's for certain. And there are so many individual shots in this story of them stalking kills that are truly horrifying. One of the main ones for me is when an Auton breaks into the property of the Seeleys, an old farming couple. That's horrendous! The thought of being in a secluded location like this with no assistance or firepower to fend off their onslaught is really a thought to behold. The way the Autons move and act is extremely robotic too. Like, they're very clunky, and that just adds to them being inhuman. We even get a horrendous jump scare scene where an Auton jumps out at a driving unit soldier, causing him to crash and break his neck clean through, where we receive a disturbing shot of bloodied broken glass and a corpse at the wheel as the featureless gaze looks on. So the bulk of this story's memorability and the main driving force of its fear factor are the manufactured Autons, but it doesn't stop there. Another key part of the Nestine's plot is to kidnap important government and military officials, place them into suspended animation appearing like plastic waxworks, and then have Auton versions of them take their place to infiltrate key parts of the UK's influence system. That's a really daunting plan, but one that is executed terrifyingly when Major General Scobie encounters his Auton equivalent. Again, it's expressionless, but this time more detailed. The skin is off-coloured and shiny due to the plastic material, and that's mega creepy in itself. Again, it's inhuman and gives off major Invasion of the Body Snatchers vibes. Now onto the climax, which is a real corker, a very memorable one. The Nestine consciousness spreads out its power even further, and activates all the shop window dummies in a high street. They all come to life and slowly pace past the shops, blasting away innocent bystanders. This is a very haunting image in the sense it brings the science fiction horror Doctor Who can offer to the real world. In the same way the weeping angels made people never look at statues the same way again, here the Autons made kids give shop window dummies a second look, thinking that one day they may come to life and eradicate them. That's a concept that is an ultimate achievement of this story's horror. Spearhead from Space remains a fan favourite and one of the very strongest new Doctor introduction stories. It made the Autons a popular enough adversary to see them return in the following season in Terror of the Autons, which also introduced the Master to the show's canon. Personally, I do prefer Terror, and it's one of my favourite Pertwee stories, though Spearhead is absolutely one of the greats. And the main reason is down to how downright disturbing those Autons are. Do you think the Autons are a frightening foe? Let me know in the comments what you think of them and of Spearhead from Space. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed this video. I've been Connor from Unleash the Ghouls, and remember, life in plastic isn't always fantastic.